Welcome to my channel Living Librarian. I'm your host Dave. I'll be sharing knowledge about consciousness, spirituality, and life. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Erika Osmann Mason. I wanted to share today some things about pain related to past lives. This is a story of someone I was working with, and I'm sharing this with her permission and some of her personal details changed for privacy. So in an Akashic Record Coaching virtual session, I was working with Rosalie, we'll call her, and she said that her neck had been hurting all week. She had been trying all sorts of things to help it better: stretches, exercises, herbal remedies, topical lotions, and E-stim or electrical stimulation. All of those things helped, but she still was waking up every morning with her neck feeling really stiff. Neck pain wasn't usually an issue for her, and she thought something was affecting her on a spiritual and energetic level. So we talked briefly about physical contributors to pain, like was she sleeping differently in her position, or did she change her pillow, or have any recent injuries? Because even though I work with energy, I'm also an occupational therapist, so I just wanted to ask those things. But nothing was new in this department. I couldn't work on her body since we were working virtually from several time zones away. But what did she think might have been spiritual and energetic triggers? So she began to share a story about something that happened recently. She and a male friend were having a good-natured disagreement, and he jokingly put his hands towards her neck and made a shaking motion in front of her like he was going to strangle her. He didn't actually touch her, but it still felt, she felt the energy of it, even though he was joking. And she said, "Stop it immediately. That doesn't feel funny to me." He did thankfully take her seriously and stopped right away and apologized. She also said that she watched a TV show in the week before that might have been a trigger. In a fleeting part of an episode, there was a scene that alluded to people being burned and tortured, accused of being witches. It was a historical fiction all drama. And she thought that both of these things together probably triggered her pain, though she didn't see it clearly until we started talking. So her Akashic record keepers showed me images and stories about a life where she was choked by a stranger who stole her wares that she was selling at an outdoor market. And then that stranger fled the scene. He needed money and saw her as an easy target. She had lived in a village where people knew everyone else, and she had never met an untrustworthy human. It was shocking, to say the least. A little piece of her soul was suspended in time and space by this shock. This experience caused her to form a soul-level belief that men cannot be trusted, and there was a relating feeling of wariness with that, that her body was still holding on to. So part of her was looking for signs all the time that any harm might come to her from men, that they cannot be trusted, that some part of her soul was saying, "I don't want to die this way again." So the recent choking motion joke from her friend triggered this past life feeling and belief. We worked in her Akashic records with the old beliefs, helping her to write in new ones. Her Akashic record keepers also shared strategies to help in her current life, like how to talk about this choking joke with her friend. This helped her feel more at ease about seeing him again, because she was feeling nervous about that and couldn't really put her finger on why she was feeling so triggered by him. We also reclaimed her suspended soul part and helped her to receive that in her body again. After this, Rosalie felt noticeably better. Her record keepers then showed her a powerful past life soul memory where she was a seer and a priestess. She was just at the apex of an ecstatic experience. She was floating above the ground and merging with the divine feminine when she was strategically killed by a man who slit her throat. Her killer was intent on spreading fear among those who shared her beliefs of the divine feminine, and her killer was intent on spreading fear. He felt righteous, believing that his religion was the only true and right way to know God. her soul was jolted out of its ecstatic experience, and she developed a soul level fear and belief that fully uniting with her intuitive abilities could be deadly to her. The television show she watched that week reminded her of the soul memory of and triggered her neck pain in her current body, where witches were burned in this TV show. It reminded her a little bit. So we worked with her reclaiming this soul piece suspended in time to release and update her related beliefs to help her feel more comfortable claiming her intuitive power more fully, which is part of her life's work. She physically felt her neck muscles relax during the session as the session went on. And the next morning, she let me know that she woke up feeling so good and vibrant again. She said, "My neck feels great and I feel playful and inspired." So again, some of those personal details are altered, and the story was the story was shared with permission. But I just wanted to share how sometimes, yes, physical pain is physical pain. And it is connected to the way that we sit in our desk or the way that we sleep. And sometimes it really is completely energetic and completely connected to past life triggers and beliefs that we're carrying, that our body is saying, "I'm afraid," or is expressing those beliefs that we're holding. So there are ways to shift those that can be very empowering and can show us some pretty immediate change. Sometimes things are more involved, and there are layers and layers of it. Some things are lifelong things that we continue to unpack and grow and expand through, and others can change really quickly. And I hope that is helpful in case you're wondering if your pain could be related to a past life. Thank you so much for listening. My website is lightfilledlife.com.